I'm Victoria Pearson, but you can call me V, and if you are a regular watcher of this channel, you are probably absolutely sick of me talking about my trip to Hamburg by now. Depending on which order I schedule these videos, this may be the last one. If last week's was a podcast about me talking about it, this will be the last one. If not, you've got one more ahead of you. It all depends on how quickly that I can edit them. However, I wanted to just have a quick chat with you this week and show you a little way that I decided to record my memories of my trip. Going away was a bit of a big deal for me. It was my first trip outside of the UK in 26 years and my first time on a commercial plane since 1999. And things are wildly different to how I remember when I travelled as a child. But I wanted to come up with a way to record my memories of the place. I am a little bit of a magpie brain, you see, and I do like a little collect and shiny things. And so I actually came up with 3 different ways to help build memories of my trip. And I'm going to quickly talk you through the first 2, and then we're going to get on to the main one. So first thing that I did was I found myself a little magnet. Here is a Hamburg magnet. It's got a ship on it and some sort of tentacles coming out of the water to take the ship down. That is because there's a massive port in Hamburg, but I did not go and see that port, and so it feels like a little bit of a disconnect from my trip to have that, but it's got Hamburg written on it right there, see? And so I'll stick it on my fridge, and if I go to other places, I might pick up a magnet while I'm there. The second way that I decided to collate the memories of my trip was through jewellery. Now, my friend Sassy, who I went on my trip with, if you haven't seen my video about Hamburg yet, it is on my EU travel playlist, so you'll be able to get the whole backstory of it. But my friend Sassy invited me along to Hamburg to act as a sighted guide for her when she was going there to do some work. But my friend Sassy, she's a bit of a giver. Gift giving is her love language. And so a little while ago, probably about a year ago actually, when she went somewhere, she bought me this cute little bracelet that's like a charm bracelet. And it had a charm on it. It's got this little charm, which is an anchor. I don't know how well you can see that, which is cute. I love it. And I do love the seaside. I would have kept this on my bracelet, except that because of the little hooks on the anchor, it keeps catching in my hair. It catches in my clothes, it keeps doing snags on my blankets and jumpers. And so I took this one off. I'm going to keep that safe. I might put it on a necklace or something. And I decided to buy a little charm. These are only from AliExpress. They were ever so cheap. But a little charm for each place that I've visited. So I will show you. Here I started with the Union flag here, the little heart-shaped one. That is obviously because I am born in the UK and live in the UK, but it's also to represent the amount of time that I've spent in London as well, because I spent a long time in London when my 3rd child was born. He had a heart condition. I've got that video talking about that on my channel somewhere, so I'll link that in the description if you want to hear more about that. But yeah, so this one is just to represent my birth country and also visiting London. When I was a child, I went to Dalaman in Turkey in my early teens. So there's a little Turkish flag there. I then went and lived with my grandparents in America for a little while. I lived in Pennsylvania, and so there is my little American flag there. I also got this one, which I don't know if you can see very well, but that has got little bees and honeycombs on it. I got that to represent going to Manchester. And then finally, I have just added on my little German flag there to represent going to Hamburg. And each time that I go somewhere, I will buy another little flag charm and add it onto my bangle. And that'll be a cute little way of remembering all the places that I have been. But that's not what today's video is really about, because when I got home, I went out shopping with my daughter and there was a massive stationery sale in one of the shops, and she said to me, why don't you make a little junk journal of your travels? I thought, that's a great idea. I wish I had thought of it before I went. I don't know how much junk I've actually got. Turns out quite a lot, actually. And so I have started a little junk journal of my travels, which I'm about to show to you. I bought some stickers of the various places I went, and some of them came with these little aeroplane stickers and things like that. So I stuck them onto my journal along with a little passport and ticket sticker that was there. And that is all that I've bought for the journal, was a couple of packets of stickers to represent places I have been. So here in my front cover, I have got all of the countries that I've been to, some of them twice. I've got roads here because when I went to Turkey, when I went to Dalaman, which I've got represented here, we did a day trip to Rhodes and we looked around some ruins and stuff and went around the old town. It was very, very nice. I've got my Pennsylvania one there as well. I've got my Germany sticker there from Hamburg. I think this is a Germany sticker. This is a Turkey sticker. Another little Germany one there. I've got Rhodes down there, and this is another Hamburg one. That's the Hamburg skyline. And then I decided I needed a title page that pretty much shows everywhere that I went. And so I got creative with my colour pencils. Look, I'm not that artsy with the colour pencils, but I think they came out quite well. And I also covered them in stickers. So we've got Dalaman and the Turkish flag here. We've got Pennsylvania there as well. We've got Hamburg over here. We've got another Pennsylvania sticker. What else have we got? We've got Rhodes and Hamburg there. A little travel quote that I like there, which says we have nothing to lose and the world to see. And then I just decorated it with like little coconuts and aeroplanes and things like that. Oh, there's a little camel there as well. And then it was time to actually go to Hamburg in my journal. So this is my Hamburg title page. And as you can see, it is mostly just stickers and pencil again. I had a lot more stickers than I anticipated in that packet of stickers, so I just pretty much used all of them and then saved a couple to have in my bag because one of the nice little things that happened on my trip back from Hamburg was that I made friends with a couple of little kids on the train and we were exchanging stickers. They gave me some stickers and I happened to have some in my bag to give them in return. So that was nice. So here is my first page of my junk journal, and even though I hadn't consciously been collecting bits to put in this journal, I actually ended up with quite a lot. So I've got my actual boarding pass ticket thing here. I've got the little sticker that went on my luggage on the way there and the way back. I've got a little bit of the hotel's letter-headed paper there and the little stickers that those little girls gave me on the trip. And I've made tiny little notes next to them, like window seat with no window next to my ticket to help me remember. On my next page, I have got my support worker badge from where I was actually at the Airport Interiors Expo, which is why I was going there. I have drawn this seagull that says Moin Moin on it because that is a copy of a magnet that I got for one of my children. I've got a little cyclist sign that I've drawn there because we nearly got splattered by cyclists several times. I wish that I had got something from the flower garden that we went to, but I just stuck a little camera picture there and wrote the name of the place because I didn't want to forget that. I also wrote down the name of the restaurant that we went to where I had Japanese food for the first time and really enjoyed that, and I wished that I had got like a water bottle label or something from there to help me remember the trip. On the next page I wrote down all the first things that I had done there, which includes my first time guiding. And I wrote down that my friend let me guide her across stepping stones across a lake because I loved that she put that much trust in me. My first time shopping alone abroad. My first time sort of participating in an expo. I wasn't really participating, but I was there. I was answering questions as well, and I was a support for the event. My first time tasting a Tokyo sunrise. I didn't have it myself, but my friend Sassy wanted one, and I had a little taste of it. It was very nice. It was also my first time eating Japanese food, and there's quite a few people that I met there that I wrote down as well. And then I've also got my little biscuit packet from the plane stuck to the page with some Germany stickers. Some of the stuff that I've stuck in I used hot glue for, some of it I've stuck on with stickers. The hot glue works quite well, but for little paper things that are not very heavy, you could probably use PVA or Pritt stick without any problems. And then my last page is a Monstera leaf, and that is because when I left for Germany, I was worried that my Monstera plant was going to die. I had a little chat with it before I went. I said, listen, I'm going away, but it doesn't mean that you have to panic. I'm going to come back. And when I came back, she had a beautiful new green leaf and all was right with the world. So I am hoping to be able to fill this up quite a lot more. I haven't decided yet if I am going to include UK holidays on it, UK days out in it, or if it's just for trips abroad. Let me know. What do you think that I should do? Do you think that I should keep it just for trips abroad, or do you think that it should be any UK holiday? Should I include days out in it? I'm not sure. I want it to be a travel type journal, but I don't actually travel that often, and so like once every 26 years apparently, and so I don't want to waste it. I want it to fill up, so I'm not sure which to do. I have nothing booked in for going outside of the UK anytime in the near future, but then again, I'd just come back from Hamburg. Now we went in very early April, and I had had no idea in January that I would be going there. I didn't even have a passport, and so who knows what the universe is going to bring along next. I certainly don't. So maybe we will keep it just for significant trips above a day trip, but I think I might include the UK in it anyway. So I am not sure what order I am posting these in yet, but if last week was my Hamburg overview video, then next week I am going to be appearing on my friend the Barefoot Backpackers podcast. They have visited 100 countries before they turned 50. I've just visited my first as an adult at age 40. And so we thought we'd have a chat about it, and I can tell you some of the anecdotes on my trip that I didn't get a chance to tell you in my video. But if I've already posted that and this is following it, that will be on my EU travel playlist regardless. But if I have already posted that and this is following it, we are going to be moving on to something completely different next week. Yay! So join me on Monday for my next vlog, which will either be a Hamburg podcast or something completely different. And if you can't wait until then to see me again, I will be here every single morning in your shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for. Sometimes I let you know what's challenging me, but we try and focus on the gratitude because we like to attract more of that to us. I love when you join in with that. Let me know what you're grateful for. Come and join and tell me every single day what you're grateful for, and watch how quickly your life changes and all your manifestations come in. So like and subscribe, or don't. I'm not your mum, but either way, you have yourself a magical week.